Happy wife, happy life. So, I've heard some people say that that's a toxic saying. And I understand what they're saying when they make that statement. They say it should be replaced with happy spouse, happy house. And I can agree with that. But something crossed my mind today. I was in a discussion with a guy on Facebook, and he had a very strong victim mentality. And in his mind, the world was gynocentric. The world was centered around women, and women were prioritized, and men were somehow forgotten about and left out and an afterthought. Now, I understand that there are podcasts and rhetoric out there saying this. I still can't understand how any logical adult could believe this. But one of the things he said to bolster his argument was, see, there's sayings like happy wife, happy life. See right there? See, that's it. That's it right there. No thought about the man. And then I thought to myself, women are told to make men happy in a lot of different ways. A lot of us in my era, when I was growing up, were taught that we needed to be available to our husbands whenever he wanted us, in whatever manner he wanted us, because if we weren't willing to do that, another woman would. And you hear that saying a lot. What you're not willing to do or what another woman will do. But when I started to compare some of the messages that I got growing up, there was no benefit for me in following that advice. When you hear the term or the phrase or the sentence, however you want to call it, the cliche, happy wife, happy life, it's an if-then statement. If you make your wife happy, she will make your life happy. But when women were given all the statements that I heard growing up about catering to your man and being understanding and being forgiving, don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man and he's doing the best he can. There was no then after that. It wasn't if you don't blame Mr. Charlie, he will make you happy. It wasn't that. It was just do your part. Do your step. Do your role. Take care of your responsibility as a woman. Be a good woman. Be a faithful woman. Be a helpful woman. Be a submissive woman. Be a whatever you want to put in the blank. There was no follow-up after that. There was no then you get this. It was do it. Full stop. Period. But with men, it's make her happy and your life is happy. So even in him saying that this is an example of a gynocentric world or a gynocentric America, it's not. That statement seems to be geared towards women, but it's not. It's geared towards men. It is an incentive. It's incentivizing to men to do something for their wife, to get something back out of it. And this is the problem that exists in a lot of marriages and a lot of relationships, is that many times husbands, boyfriends, fiancés, they look at everything they do as, what am I going to get out of it? It's not, I'm doing this for the good of the family. I'm doing this to make my wife happy. Now, of course, there are men like that. I'm not saying every man is like this, but you hear a lot of times when you hear couples talk, well, if I wash the dishes tonight, what are you going to do for me? If I watch the kids tonight, what are you going to do for me? You know, and now you're even hearing it on some of the dating podcasts. If I become a stepdaddy, what are your kids going to bring me? What are your kids going to do for me? It's this idea that anything that he does is supposed to get some kind of reward. It's not done because we're a team. It's not done because you love me, you want to make me happy. It's done because there has to be a payoff. There has to be I give you this, you give me that. It has to be a quid pro quo. And there are many women who have gotten tired of that kind of dynamic. Even in the first date, the idea that if I buy you dinner, you owe me some kind of physical intimacy. You're not just taking me out to spend time with me. You're not just taking me out to enjoy my company. You're not just taking me out because you want to get to know me. No, there has to be more on the back end. And this whole idea of happy wife, happy life ties right into that. I do this, so I get that. And if I don't see myself getting that, I don't want to do this. And so it just makes me think of, how deep does the rabbit hole go? How many things do we think are really some nice, wonderful advice, but it's really part of the problem. It's really part of the problem that's causing relationships to seem so transactional, to seem so, like a balance sheet, like something always being measured, and nothing is just for the sake of doing it. Everything is for some kind of gratification, some kind of selfish kickback. So it just makes me think about it. Happy wife, happy life. May you walk in synergy. Happy wife, happy life.